Welcome back, game bakers. Let's make us some games, I guess.
Now, you guys haven't noticed, well, you guys haven't seen this yet, but, I mentioned in a previous video about a certain character named Oko, and about whether or not I'm going to give him character art. And I forget where that map is. That map is in... yeah, Neon Castle, which is down here. There we go. So I was looking at some of the cutscenes that Oko's in, and he's like... He doesn't get a proper introduction, and I know that's all intentional, because he's just that character. I just completely shun him, and I don't know why. I really liked him when I made him originally. But he just kind of ends up being this character that's like, just coming into the cutscene at the very last minute after the action's already done. Where is that? No, yes. So, yeah, Oko's here. He obviously gets a sprite, but, yeah, no, the characters just walk in and they're like, hey, look, it's Oko and Choco, and then Choco's like, I'm the main character, I get to control the cutscene, and poor Oko just doesn't get character art, and I feel kind of bad about it, but, you know, things happen. So, I'm actually considering just in place of that, giving him his own, like, extra bromide collectible art thing, just for the lulz. We'll see, but yeah, Oko, I decided, doesn't get character art. I'm sorry. He doesn't need it. Like, I don't want to draw character art for characters that will only have face graphics. They don't need face graphics then. But he doesn't really get a proper introduction. It's pretty much, here's Choco and Choco's brother guy, and that's it. The funny thing is, though, he's there through most of the game, but he's, like, just such an extra. He doesn't, like, I don't know. If I can find a reason to, like, introduce him properly, maybe he'll get face art. Like, it won't take long to add it in or anything like that. But he doesn't get a proper cutscene introduction. Just in either game, he never had, like, you know, an I'm this character introduction. Like, there was never a time for that. It was all just, oh, here's dude, but here's my cool little sister who's awesome and I love her. But yeah, so Oko is not getting art for now. I think it works with his character, though. I think it's really funny. Oh, I also got the, need to breathe. That's in here. The INS is done. Now, INS in this game is short for Insight. They basically... No basics. They work similar to the ATEs from FF9. Honestly, that's probably where I got the idea. But, which room was I testing in? This room? So, yeah, they're little insights to the other characters in the game. They start after Merrick showing up, so I've got those all, not programmed in, but I got the switches for them all worked out. So yeah, it just does that, and then you press a button, and you see them! Or in this case, it just fades and teleports you to another map. Or wants to be a jerk. Oh, I know why that is. I don't know why exactly it was doing this, but I don't know if this is actually a thing or not, but it's like, if you teleport from a common event, the event wants to reload? At the very least, it didn't continue the event when I tried to teleport, so I faded out the screen, and then it would teleport, but it wouldn't fade the screen back in. Now, what I'm gonna do to, you know, fix this is just because, of the map that you're teleporting to, you're gonna get into an immediate auto-run cutscene, so it's not a problem. It'll just continue from where this leaves off, fades in the screen, what have you. But I didn't know that was a thing, or that it acted like that. I had no idea. I don't know why it would do that. It could also just be something in my game. I mean, I've got like a bajillion and one plugins here, but yeah, I don't know. It's very strange to me. It's actually interesting. And I think I posted a thing on Twitter because I was thinking about this the other day. How, like, I'm not sure if this to me feels more like EM1's sequel or GMAE's remake. Like, just based on stylistic choices and things like that, it just feels so weird. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It to me feels maybe more like EM2's sequel, just based on how I'm doing the cutscenes and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm revising this game a lot more than I did GM1, and to be fair, I might have mentioned this before, I honestly can't think past yesterday, so my memory's all screwed up because I'm cold, but, actually I've been talking so much I feel really warm now, so that's nice, even with my one heater off. In any case, train of thought, you can do this, what was I talking about? Sequels and remakes? Oh, yeah. So, this game wasn't actually originally supposed to be like a 60-hour epic game sort of thing. Oh, hi. Hey, Pink. You're there so I can select mountains easier. Anywho, it was actually going to be a little Christmas game, ironically. I just, made some maps and was playing around with stuff, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is a cool character, let's see what I can do with this. Oh, this is a cool plotline, let's see what I can do with this. And then it turned into a 40 to 60 hour game. It's crazy. But because of that, the first couple areas, like, it wasn't supposed to be anything. It wasn't supposed to be, like, an amazing thing, It was just supposed to be a little game I was testing skills on. Like, I'd never made tile sets before. I've never, that's bizarre. Even the amount of character art and stuff that was in this, I've never tried doing that stuff before. Battle backgrounds. Okay, well, GM1 had battle backgrounds, but they were kind of terrible. But, like, this was just a little thing for me to test things and play with stuff, and then it became this giant thing. So that's why the beginning of the game kind of just falls short, because I didn't go back and do anything with it, and it's just there. Like, this is where the game starts getting good. And then, this is kind of a lull point, but it's still not bad. Then this is where the game starts getting, like, really fun. And this is where the game starts getting, like, really, really good. And this, I love this area. This part's great. Oh, my old maps. Love them. Anywho. And then it gets, like, really, really... Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Just looking forward to playing this. Anyway, I totally forget whatever point I was trying to make there, but stuff and things is always good. Actually, it's fun. I've always been told to read dialogue to make sure it sounds natural. And, well, I know that in practice, and I do tend to read dialogue, that I write. What ends up happening is I read it my way, so that it sounds right. Like, I write how I talk, with a lot of y'alls in there. But, it's just interesting, because I'm doing, like, voice acting, and I'm at least collaborating with one other person at this point to do voices. It's like, I find a lot of typos a lot easier. Because it's not just, I'm reading through this dialogue as I'm writing it. Oh, that sounds natural. It's, I'm acting this dialogue. This sounds like acting. I don't know what that means, but it's really helpful to pick up on typos and to fix, like, awkwardly written sentences. Now, luckily, a lot of my characters have a bit of, I'm gonna go with, like, slang or twang or what's the term, accents in their voice. Not like, an accent, but just like, half my kittens are kittens? Half my kittens! Yes, half my kittens are written. How, me and my mom tend to talk to each other, and it's got this kind of, like, country twang. Catchy, I think, is the word for it. Catchy, I swear to goodness, talks exactly like my mom sometimes, but with a bit more of a jolly old tone in her voice. I don't even know what it means. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I need to not exist. Okay, so, it's been very helpful for finding typos, because I'll just go through and I'll be listening to the dialogue and reading the text, and I'll be like, that's not what's written. That's spelled wrong. Also, this. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in a video. I know I've mentioned it on Twitter, but tiny spell. It's a typo thing, so you can type anywhere, and it'll tell you when you have typos. Like that. It's great. I love it. It'd be very great if I wasn't doing a remake and copying half the dialogue and then spell checking it. Realistically, I should just have them side by side and be like, okay, let's retype it. But we'll see. I don't know. I do that sometimes. It really depends on the scene. For NPC dialogue, I pretty much just copy it and then breathe. Spell check it, and then rewrite it if it's not what I want it to be. Another little thing I can't remember if I've ever mentioned, but I'm adding a lot of well, one of the biggest things I did for changes in GM/EM is pacing stuff. I had a lot of stuff where you'd go, like, back and forth, like, oh, do I still have the maps? I think I still have the maps. I still have some of the maps. I kept all of the maps that I'm gonna end up, like, modifying or reusing from the first game, because they're the same areas. But, in Arbor here, you'd, like, go back and forth a couple times here, and then you'd come back and go back and forth a couple times later, and that was ridiculous. So after the main plot cutscene in this area, it would just be like, oh, well, let's go back, and that was it, and it was all revised to be able to do that. I'm doing a lot of that kind of stuff in this game, where, like, after Miki and Nikki joined the party in here, in the, actually, it's down here, down here, it's like, oh, well, do you want to go back to town together, or, like, do you want to go and fight all these random encounters for no reason? And it'll just teleport you back, like, no problem. I did another thing like that for the airship, because before you'd have this cutscene on the bridge somewhere here. It doesn't really matter, this one. And then the characters would be like, oh, let's hurry, let's walk back slowly. So, it just teleports you to the cutscene now. There's no reason it needs to be longer, and even in the original, all the NPCs were just like, oh, cool, nice day, isn't it? And it's like, huh. Well, okay, I'm not sensing the impending doom here. So that worked out a bit better. I imagine I'm going to put in stuff like that in other areas. These are just the two that I could think of off the top of my head. It's just pacing stuff. It's really helpful and minor, and I like not having to waste time walking back for no reason. I did test the game, actually, on my server computer. I've been testing the areas after they've been finished, and I am a little concerned about Eon. Maybe it's the, like, 400 plus doodads I have on it, but, since there's an anime cutscene on here with Kari's introduction, I'm a little concerned about the amount of graphics I have loaded at that point, because on my server computer, essentially, after I do that cutscene, if I do anything else, the game will crash, and I've had this consistently happen. But the thing is, well, one of the things is I'm gonna go revamp the graphics so they aren't as big as they are. They don't need to be. They've got all this extra space on them. All I need them to do is center with each other. But, right now I have an event that just loads all the costumes, which is great for testing. Like, it's not a problem. It's cool and whistling anyway. It's on here. I just have it set to preload all of the costume graphics. But that's not gonna be in the final game, you see. I'm gonna have it based on a variable that's like, okay, well, if ID for Akira plus ID for costume is this, then load all of the graphics for that costume, or what have you. So I won't need to load all of these extra ones, it'll just be like that. So I'm not too concerned about it. It's something I'll test more once I get to that point. I just don't have it in right now, because that's something I need help with to do from my programmer Sally, and poor Salia, he works at a factory, and his factory done gone exploded. So, they've already been working, like, 6-day overtime weeks for, like, the last 7 months, and he's gonna probably be doing that longer, so I can only get him in on every now and then to actually do plug-in stuff with me, which is really sad. He's gonna be voicing some of the characters, but I have to wait at least until the new year to be able to get him in, because only having 1 day a week, I'm sure as any of you who've ever worked that much can sympathize with. It's not easy to get things done. So yeah, it's not something I'm super concerned with at the moment. There's a lot of other optimization things I have planned to do, or that will be done in the game. It's just I don't have them yet or need them yet. Like, I've got an entire test folder here that just loads these graphics so I can still select the character graphics. Like so. That way I can still see the graphic and what have you. I don't need to fix anything on these ones. But yeah, that's a thing. As you've also noticed, I've started getting lines from other actors. I've mentioned that. Right now, I'm just using the people that I already had pre-planned to do characters and seeing how that goes. So yeah, I've been using Valencia Games, my brother, to do Dokken's voice, because Dokken is based off of him. Like, even his entire airship-related plotline stuff is basically my brother in a nutshell. I've got to stop saying basically. Like, that's who he's inspired by, so that's who I wanted to voice him. I will do an announcement when I am looking for other voice actors. If you're interested, let me know on Twitter, and I'll probably give you a message like I'm not looking for voice actors at this moment, but if you're still interested, in a later date, I'll post a thing, and, you can do some contacting. I'll remember your name, maybe, and be like, oh yeah, you mentioned you wanted to be someone. Sure, let's talk. But, I am planning on doing some sort of, audition thing with that. I just have a lot of characters that need a lot of voices, and I would just get stressed if I was to do that right now. No way around that. I can't. Finish more of the game, and then I'll be able to focus more of my time on scheduling and contacting people and doing auditions and listening to those and such. Got quite a few people who've asked about it, so I'm really happy you guys are interested in wanting to participate in this. So yeah, fun. I mentioned having extra DLC before, with this super totally not for fan service swimsuit DLC, and I've actually got Akira's done so far. Okay. Now, if you guys follow me on Twitter, you've seen this already, but I've got let's put. Well, whatever. It's not important. A swimsuit DLC done for you. See, what I like to do, you actually have custom DLC too. What I like to do is when I'm doing, once I finish mapping an area, I'll, really need a break from mapping. And unfortunately, doing the events comparatively doesn't take as long. So, you do all of the events, and then you're like, oh, I have to map things, yay. It just takes so long. So what ends up happening with me is I like doing other things in between. So, like, in the one case, I really didn't want to map Merrick or Eon or something. And so I did all of those, art things, not that, go back. So I drew all of those in a month, because I didn't feel like, Why are you taking so long to there you go. You're loading nothing, come on! Actually, I feel like in that case it probably loads all the images even if you don't have them. I wonder if there's anything I could do about that. In any case, so I tend to do, like, the extra stuff in between at that point. So, after I finish mapping Merrick, I'll probably go back to finishing these, but I did the swimsuit DLC for Akira. It's pretty much done. She's all, like, uber kawaii, or whatever you kids say now. And I did a special DLC for Annika here. She, is, dressed up as Salia, who's my programmer dude that I've mentioned a couple times now. And, where are you? So yeah, she's just got that one. I assume it'll be included with whatever else DLC that I do. But it's just a custom costume for, him at this point. I got another one for Whip at Valencia Games recommendation. Basically, enough with the baseglies. I was like, which characters do you want your custom costumes to be? So we chose Annika, because she looks a lot like Salia. I designed both characters, more or less. Well, I designed Annika, and with Salia, he was like, well, she needs red eyes and dark hair and purple. So I'm like, okay, red eyes, dark hair, and purple, got it. So, that's how his OC ended up, and they ended up looking the same. So for Salia's DLC, I just gave Annika a purple outfit. Breathing. I gave Annika the outfit, and then just gave her little hair swirlies that you might be able to see, because Salia has those. And Whip just got a dress. Actually, it's funny, the original EM2, Whip did get a dress based on Sadie's outfit, in one of my brother's other game sort of things, and, cause he was like, hey, put Whip in a dress, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So Whip got a dress. Which I didn't include in this game, because I'm like, well, Sadie's no longer a relevant character in our, little social dynamic, because he's working on a different game, and while there is a Sadie, she's designed slightly differently, and it's just like, no. So, when I was like, okay, well, I could do this character, or I could do this character, or we could put Whip in a dress, and he's like, put Whip in a dress! And I'm like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing then. So, Whip got a dress. That's also over on Twitter somewhere, in the backlog of posts. I do want to give someone an Echo costume. Echo me, Echo, not Echo, Echo, Echo. But I'm not sure who. I was thinking Kazumi, because I'm a little sister, and she's a little sister, and it kind of works since Doken is her big brother, and, Doken's voice actor is my big brother, who he's based on, and whatnot. But then I'm like, Catchy, because I'm Catchy! And I look like Catchy, and Catchy is Catchy! So, I don't know. Not Akira. Akira has too many costumes and too many poses already. She doesn't need any more. I'm pretty much good with any character that isn't Akira Zephyr at this point. Well, speaking of DLC, oh shoot, I don't think I know where they... Hold on. Okay, well, sadly, I can't find them real quick, but I, actually started work last year on, Santa costume DLC for GM EM1, but I didn't have time to finish it over the holidays, so it never got posted. I was considering finishing that and doing that as DLC, because I've got it all worked out how to do DLC for the game. I have it all implemented. All I really need to do is post the graphics and turn on a switch on a map. But we'll see. So far I've got Akira and Echo done, and I'll actually put them on the screen right about now if I can find them. If not, pretend that they're there and she looks cute. I don't know. But it's a thing I wanted to do. I was mostly just wanting to test how DLC, how I could do it. But, yeah. So that might be a thing, it might not. I don't know. We'll see if I can get the other characters done or not. It's a lot of characters. Luckily, for that game, it's just the overworld sprites. It's nothing, like, major. Okay, moving on. We're almost done here, don't worry. You're probably bored of my sleepy voice now. But, I was working on another song. I'm actually gonna show you a voice clip from it. Or, not a voice clip, a video clip. if I can find which one it is. Just because I think it'd be fun. This is a song for a battle theme for Annika. So this little cute girl who's kind of got this mysterious, creepy side going on, but she's also your friend and you kind of love her, you know? She's nice, she's cute, whatever. So that's kind of what I was going for here. Now, keep in mind, this is like song 2 of songs that I've actually tried to make. So, it's not like the greatest, most excellent thing ever. It's just what I could do at the time. So my internet was down, and I found out that when your internet is down on Chrome, you can actually play this little mini game. And it's just so fun. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna use this. This is mostly just me playing around at this point. I do have it in the game, but this song will be played for quite a while at this point. If I choose to use it, I don't know. And I'm still, like, playing with it. Every now and then I'll open it and be like, oh, I should add this or change that, because I don't know anything about music. I mean, okay, I know about music, but as far as actually composing songs goes, I'm very at the point where I'm still just playing around with stuff and looking stuff up when I get stuck. I mean, I don't know. I've always loved music. I made a game based around songs as magical powers because I liked playing music. I know I don't have, like, the dexterity or skill to be, like, an amazing musical player. I can play the piano and I used to play the flute, but that's it. But I've known for years I will never be, like, that performer type of person. But, even if I can just make little songs like this, it makes me happy, because this is something I've always wanted to do. I've always just wanted to make up songs and play around with music, but I just never knew how, and I never had a reason to, like, push me to do it, which is why, in this case, it's been really great, because it's just like, oh, let's just make something and see what happens. So it's been fun, especially since I'm still experimenting. It's like really low stress. I can just make stuff. This is terrifying, showing you guys whatever I'm working on, just because I have no idea if it's good or bad. It's just stuff that I made. I don't really care if it's good or bad. It's just, you know, stuff. Anyway, so that's that. I have one more that I've been working on, but it's just a battle theme-esque version of this one that I played last time. But I need to work on it still. It's not quite leveled right. I was trying to play with guitars. I have no idea how people make guitar sounds good. How people make, like, overdrive guitars or whatever sound good in MIDI. I've got no idea. I'll look it up later. But it's a thing. I have no idea. In any case, there is one more thing I would like to share before I leave you to go turn my heater back on and probably spend all night editing this, because I want it up by tomorrow. We'll see. I don't know. Here's hoping. But, I actually made a timeline for the GM universe. Now, I don't really want to open it, because it's, you know, I can show you the first bit, and this is just prologue. But this is basically... Okay, every time I do a basically, you guys need to, like, yell at me in the comments. You're like, stop! Stop with the basicallys! Okay, maybe I'm the only one who's incredibly annoyed by the word basically. But, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway. So yeah, I made this 10-page timeline of the GM-verse. It includes, like, this part at the beginning anyway, is the, like, legends of the game, and around where they fit in with a really large time span, because I don't remember what I said for them. If I find anything to the contrary, I'll update it, but as far as memory serves, this is, like, how that goes. This is actually, the Legend is a game I want to make all on its own, Legend prologue sort of game. But I just haven't yet. We'll see. It's a thing I want to do. it includes up to the end of GM2. Now, I do have things in my own headcanon of what happens after that, but it's never been really said, so it's not included. It mainly includes things like, you know, birthdays of characters and big events like wars and key points of what happens in GM1 and 2. Just fun stuff like that. I don't know. It was fun to make. It took me about a day or two. But that's cool. I'll probably end up posting it online after EM2's release, just because why not, you know? It's just a fun little thing. I very much enjoyed writing it. It was fun just seeing where everything takes place, because I have, like, a notebook of notes. My pencil sharpener tried to attack me. Lovely. Everything wants me dead. Anyway, yeah, I really like it, and I'm gonna share it with you guys at some point after the game is released. Just gives me more time to add things, or, you know, forget things, or add things that I've forgotten. Anyway, I think that's all for now. That pretty much covers my... Pretty much, not basically. That pretty much covers my progress for the last month. This month might be a little slow. I've still got some videos to post, but as far as my heating thing is concerned, it's a lot harder to work on stuff because my hands get cold, so I can't do artsy things because you need dexterity for that. And theoretically, we're not getting the new furnace until the 12th, so we're all, like, you know, freezing until then. It's not bad while the heat is on, but the heat takes so long to warm up. Like, I've had this on for, like... Oh, that's because I moved the actual image over. Whee! Anyway, so yeah, it takes so long for the house to actually warm up with the little space heater, and it's only warm in this area. I get up and I freeze. I'm sure you all can sympathize. I do not handle the cold well, despite, you know, the premise that Canadians, like myself, live in igloos and hang out with our polar bears. My poor cat, she's not a fan of cold. She cannot handle it at all, so she's just been cuddling me the whole time. I needed her to leave while I was recording, so I kind of had to shoo her away, and I think she's mad at me now. But that is enough digressing from me. Thank you very much for watching. Super happy I was actually able to record this, and, again, the Mac and Linux versions of EM1 are now available, so check those out if you've been absolutely waiting for those. I know a couple of you have been, and you're all like, where is it? And I'm like, it's here! It's here! You can download it, it's online! Ah! So, thanks again, and I'll see you later, gamers. I'll see you later, gamers! Nope.